afternoon, wonderful viewers. You're watching us live on different platforms, but I am also and I work with Fine Gambia TV. We here at the police station with Nene Alfred Gomez. As we all know, what was trending at the internet yesterday, she was arrested by police officers from Senegambia police station. So, Nene, we want you to tell us what's the main purpose of that arrest yesterday.
Thank you very much, Awa, and thank you very much, everybody watching us. I just want to, first of all, extend our appreciation and thanks to everybody. The show of solidarity was really, really huge. People came over here since we were arrested. I sent the post out. People stormed the police station. I mean, a whole lot of them spent the night, left their homes, and spent the night with us. It just shows us that we are not alone in this fight. It might seem lonely. It is very difficult and frustrating, but the love, the solidarity, the support is overwhelming. We feel it, and we are saying thank you on behalf of myself and Lamin here, my staff. We are very, very grateful. Now, coming back to your question, I mean, as you've been following, this is a trending issue. We own our property. The government seemed to have interest in it. We went to court. The court ruled that it is our property, and our interest supersedes the interest of the government. And when I say our interest supersedes the interest of the government, we had a hospital existing on that property, and that's what we want to continue. The government wants to give it to a private investor, a Senegalese, to build a hotel there, disguised or hiding behind OIC when it's not an OIC project. It's an investor, a private investor. And we were able to prove in court that this is our intent, and they were not able to prove beyond reasonable doubt. And of course, the court ruled in our favor. Now we have a judgment. The sheriff gave us possession. We attempted several times to start work on the property, and we've always been obstructed by the police. And the police will tell us they're working on orders, orders from the top or executive orders. So, I mean, the officer OC in charge at Senegambia here is called what ASP Drame, who always tells us getting orders from Commissioner Landing Bojan. And Landing will tell us he's getting directives from the IGP, and the IGP will say he's getting directives from the executive or executive orders from the top. So this is the trend from day one. And of course, we were arrested October 11th, to be precise, after the sheriff came to give us possession, after the exit of the anti-crime who were in possession of the property. So now, when the sheriff gave us possession, we held a press conference, and you all remember, you were there. So when we went on that fateful October 11th, the police came with a whole truckload and asked us out. And of course, it cannot be that easy to walk out on our own property. We insisted we were not going to go out, so they eventually arrested us. And, after that arrest, they took us, a whole merry-go-round, back and forth from Senegambia to Keraba to Kanifing, Kanifing to Keraba to Kanifing, and Kanifing to Banjul, and Banjul to Keraba again, finally. And since then, they said they've put us on unconditional bail. And when they put their house in order, they will invite us back to be able to take us to court, because they charged us with 3 counts. And that was the former arrest of October 11th. So they haven't taken us to court. So we've sued the people that arrested us. We sued the IGP, we sued the Attorney General, we sued Commissioner Landing Bojang, we sued Drame, who is the officer in charge at Senegambia here, and 2 other officers who effected the arrest. And the proceedings were done at a high court in Banjul. And on Wednesday, just this past Wednesday, a judgment was entered yet again in our favor. The judge said the arrest was unlawful, and the judge ordered that they should release us with immediate effect. All charges should be dropped, and they should not interfere with our property. They didn't even stop on that. The judge ordered that we should be compensated, each one of us, myself and my staff, we should be compensated each $100,000. The judge further ordered that they should pay for our legal costs in the sum of $25,000. And that was Wednesday. We left. Thursday, we went there with our workers to bring sand. Okay, we were obstructed. But after a brief back and forth, they left us. Okay, but how did they leave us? I went with the driver who brought the truck to the bank to pay him. All right, when I went to the bank and came back to the property, I met that they have taking 4 of the driver's apprentices that work with him, some small boys, minors, small young boys, 4 of them, they put them on their truck and brought them to the station. So I asked the driver to go ahead because we have already wasted almost 2 hours of his time. He's doing a job. So I compensated for that time and asked him to go. I was going to handle the situation. I came with my staff to the police station and met the boy sitting there. So I asked for the officer in charge, had a conversation with him and asked, why are these boys here? They said, are they arrested? They said clearly, no, they're not arrested. So why are they here? So he said to me, well, we brought them here so that they can help us to get hold of the driver. I said, why do you need a driver? The driver was just a driver, contracted to do a job. All right. So we went back and forth. He said, well, he was told by his officers that the driver knocked the fence down and got in there and poured the sand. I say, oops, wait. I know the police too well that I cannot allow myself to be fooled or put into trouble. I ensure that every time I walk into that property, I am on record, especially when they are around. There is a record in Facebook Live to show what has happened since the driver got there until when the driver drove off. I pulled my phone and played the recording for the officer in charge. He looked at the video from start to end, then said, well, oh, my officers misled me. They told me that this is what the driver did. That's why we wanted to get hold of the driver and make sure we charge him for damaging the property. And I said, even if he damaged it, I instructed him to do a job. I should charge him or take him to police for destroying my property, not you, because it's my property. So you have nothing to do with that. So they insisted the driver needed to come. I said the driver wasn't going to come. But eventually when I said, okay, if you're not releasing the boy, I am going to go and leave them here. 2 of them are minors. You have no right to hold them. I even went up ahead and asked the officer, is it legal for you to hold these boys? And then he said, well, it's not according to law, but I'm just using my own discretion to enable me have access to the driver. I said, well, you're doing it the wrong way because you're not going to have access to the driver. But I'm going to go and leave these boys here, and I will go, and whatever needful that I need to do with my lawyers, we're going to do it. And then that's when he got up and came to me and said to me, okay, no problem. No problem. I will let these drivers go with you, and then I will let I will let the boys go, and then since I've seen the video and realized that the driver did not do anything else, so I went with the boys and got a taxi, a car for them, and then asked them to go and meet their boss. So that was Thursday. Friday, yesterday, we went back because we already had arrangement for the workers to start work. Saturday, today, this morning, early morning, we went there to drop off our equipments or whatever. And when we went, we met a whole contingent, a whole truckload, about 15 paramilitaries also there. But I just greeted and went ahead. I went and opened the door where we're supposed to keep our stuff and all that. So I kept it, put it there. Going back, then they all got up and came and surrounded me and say, I'm under arrest. And when they did that yet again, I wanted to be on a record. I opened my phone, went on Facebook Live and asked them, what do you say? They say, I'm under arrest. I said, okay, that's fine. We're going to go. They say, I should enter on their truck. I said, no, I'm not going to enter your truck. I have my car parked there. I will get on my car. Follow me. Let's go to the station. Okay? So I was in the car with my staff, Tigo, but then they came and said they were going to come in my car. I said, no, I'm not going to carry any police officer in my car. You have your own car, get in it, and then escort us. So they said, Tigo needs to get out of the car. So I said Tigo was not going to get out of the car. I'm going to drive with my staff. So they manhandled him, forcefully came into the car, and then yanked him, like about 11 officers, I counted it, yanked him out of the car, carried him like a baby, and threw him in their truck, and then drove off with him. That's when I got in my car, and then also drive up and came to the station. As soon as I walked in, I was like, okay, I need to know why my staff is here, why Elamin is brought here. They say he's under arrest. I said, okay, why? They say, in fact, you are also under arrest. I said, okay, why? He got inside and spoke to somebody who was in the office and came back and said, you are under arrest and we're going to charge you. Charge me for what? You understand? They said obstruction. And then I said, okay, that's fine. I just sat there. Then later on, they came and said I should come and give a statement. I said, no, I'm not giving no statement. I have nothing to say. I have a file with all the documents from day one to date. And if this file you are able to read, if this file cannot tell you anything, then I don't think anything I will tell you is going to make sense to you. So I'm not saying anything. But that was after I consulted with our lawyers who said, do not say anything. Stay mute. So I stayed mute. And then they went back and forth. Of course, the calls back and forth were going on and on, on and on. So later on, our lawyers came here. They went back and forth and said they will charge us. To say we are not saying anything. So they just still went ahead and prepared a charge sheet and charged us with obstruction of police officers in executing their duties. That's what they charge us with. But of course, we didn't sign based on the advice of our lawyers. So they said if we don't sign, then they were not going to release us. So that's how we stayed here. I mean, everybody tried to contact or call or negotiate or talk to them, but they were bent on, because he told us categorically clear, he's working based on directives. It's not him, and then somebody else is directing him or instructing him what he needs to do. So this is where we were from almost 5:35, after 5 o'clock till now that I'm speaking to you. We are still under detention, because right now he went out and said he's meeting the authorities and come back. That is Drame, ASP Drame came back and said, what are we doing here still? Well, he said he's waiting on executive directive. And these were the words he used, executive directive. So we should give him time. Once he gets, the order to allow us to go, they will allow us to go. So this is the situation. This is the reality of the new Gambia. This is what we fought for in 2016, to attain a freedom. But yet again, our freedom, our rights are being curtailed. And I've said it in my post. It's not about Nene Frida Gomez. I'm just one individual. I'm doing this for all of us. I'm doing this for Gambia. Because if I let it go, then everybody is not safe in this Gambia. And this is a litmus test. Because if the people who are supposed to enforce the rule of law are seen to be blatantly disregarding a court order, a court ruling, 3 court rulings from the High Court, a court of competent order, then we are not safe. Then who is safe in this Gambia? Who isn't safe? And I mean, they have been telling us that I should comply and sign the charge sheet and do a statement, then I will go. I said, then if that is the only condition that I will live here, then I'm not going to go home. Because I've already made up my mind. I've already made up my mentality that they are bent on doing something and they're not ready to change unless I comply. And I will not comply because I have the law of the land, the constitution, backing us to say we own the land rightfully and nobody has a right there. Anybody that is on that land without our permission, you are trespassing. And that's what we're holding until this point, and nothing will change that.
Okay, and then yesterday we saw a picture on Facebook whereby you were sitting outside sleeping without even a shoe. So what can you tell us on that part?
Well, it was sad because we were already tired. Okay, they've charged us, and all of a sudden the officer in charge has gone home. The junior officers, they were left here, were given no orders of what to do. So they were also left like in the dark. So we were left sitting outside because they did not like take us to a cell or anything. They were just left sitting outside. So I mean, it was just coincident. I was just tired, and where I was sitting, I just kind of dozed off. And of course, my guys played some tricks on me and took those pictures, which is okay because that picture is the reality of the situation at the time, which is. Well, you know what? It didn't make me anything to feel anything, but it just made me to feel that this is the reality and this is what we are living, and I have accepted it, wholeheartedly, and I am not intimidated at all. I am not scared at all. I am not angry. I am wearing this with a badge of honor, knowing that I'm doing it for Gambia. I'm doing it for the people who are vulnerable, who don't have a voice. So I'm the least intimidated. They have told us that they have a right to keep us for 72 hours, which is 3 days. And I was like, bring it on. I'm okay. I've already spent a night here. So another 2 nights is not going to make any difference. So bring it on. I'm not going to fight with you. You say you're basing it on law. At the end of the day, after 72 hours, you are mandated to take us, to court, to charge us. I mean, you've charged us already without us signing or accepting. You can take us to court. And when you took us to court, then we will be able to fight our battle there. So I don't have a problem with whatever they do, their process, even though I believe whatever they're doing is unlawful, it is illegal, they're flaunting the law, but they can continue and do it the way they know best because this is how they know it. I'm not going to object or I'm not going to obstruct. But when we go to the court, because I have so much confidence and trust in the judicial system, in the court system, I believe when we get there, the right thing will be done.
They can speak English, but they can speak Wolof. So I would like you to brief us with what you just said in Wolof so that they can also understand.
Okay, dina kontaan pour def lolu parce que ci liñ nekk ni lu itel la bépp askan bi lu itel bépp doomi Adama so su niñ ko mëna waxé rek frañ fay ci ko bi nga xamné xalé bu ndaw dina mëna xam li ñuy jankuwantel fu nekk ni dina kontaan trop pour def ko nima ko waxé rek li dafa nekk problème bi yo xamné ñu ngi jankuwante mom ay years and years and years dañ mom suñ place suñ property land boo xam ne ñoo ko moomal suñ boppa ci luwaa ñun ñoo ko moom mu am ñoo xam ne dañ ci teg seen loxo am ci bugg koo nangu te niñ ko bugg a nangoo àndut ak loi ñu dem ci court bi fi nga xam ne foofu la ñuy aatee ñooñu seet affaire bi pour xam ne yéen a moom li ngeen bugg a def pour lu itteel askan bi la lu itteel Gambian bi la soo dinañ dogal ne ñu delloo leen seen place ci ñetti yoon nag la court bi def loolu noonu fi ñuy aatee waaye ba tey ñi ci am ite muy government bi executive bi ba tey ñoom fi ñu jàpp ñoom ñu ngi fa jàpp foog ne comme que court bi deful li nga xam ne loolu lañ bugga ñoom wax nañ ñu ne ñoom ñooy nguur bi te nguur bi moo ëpp képp a doole soo ñoom suñ buggee rek amul kenn ku ci mun a def dara ñun nag suñ gëm-gëm dafa ute ñun gëm nañ ne dëkki luwaa lañ nekka te fii mboolem koo mun a gis fooguma ne kenn rëy na ba ëpp luwaa bi ñun moo loolu mooy suñ gëm-gëm moo taxit ba ñuy am jafe-jafe ñu dem ci luwaa bi soo léegi luwaa bi jox nañ ñu ne seen bos la ñi dee joxe su luwaa bi aatee ñi nga xam ne ñooy dem pour jox leen mooy shérif bi ñëw nañ ñu jox ñu suñ place waaye ba tey ñu ngi am jafe-jafe nguur gi jël nañ ay police def leen foofu noonu saa yuñ demee pour def suñ liggéey ñu am ay jafe-jafe dinañ am ay jànkuwante ay texa-texa waaye taxut ñun gëm nañ ne ci luwaa lañ def saa yu nekk ñu ngi dem pour def suñ def waaye arresté nañ ñu sonal ñu dem ak a ñëw daw nañ dem ak a ñëw ba tey yóbbuwuñ ñu koot waaye ñu gis ne ñun suñ anaka yelleef dañ ko nangu ci ñun ñu demaat fi mbaxana nekkee benn pour wane ne suñ yelleef dañ ko nangu te niñ ko nangoo àndut ak luwaa koot bi seetaat ne dëgg la li ngeen di laajte loolu ak luwaa la gars yi dogalaat ne suñ yelleef dañ ko nangu ci dañ ko nangoo àndut ak luwaa so ci loolu noonu koot bi dogal ne nañ ñu war a bàyyi arrest bi ñu arrest àndut ak luwaa te dañ ko war a sànni ci suuf ba pare koot bi demaat ne leen ñii ñoom moom seen aleel ñu demaat ne ok sonal bi ngeen leen sonal arrest leen dawloo leen ñu ngi wax ne pour ngeen jox leen ay dampaay boobu ñu ngi wax ne $100,000 like téeméeri junne dalasi loolu la gars yi wax so amin ci loolu bi mu amee loolu ci loolu di talaata aaral ba bu passé noonu la ñu dem fa loolu di talaata aaral ba alxames ñu am jafe-jafe waaye jafe-jafe bi bu em rek la because dem nañ ba gis ne ñii fiñ jàppa duñ bàyyi démba ajuma ñu demaat foofu noonu bii nag moom dañ indi ñu gën a bari police yu gën a bari ci almost 10 to 15 police ñu ne arrest nañ ñu arresté am nuñ jëflante ak Lamin si mi may liggéeyal ci anam bu ñaaw may ko ñaawlu jël ko ñoomi neen ñoom 11 officers fukka ak benn police officer ñoo ko gàddu sànni ko ci biir moto ba loolu la gaay def biñ ko defee ñu indi ko after ma am pour ñëw fekkaleen fii bi ma ñëwee dugg si police station bi ñu ne ma yow tamit luwaa teg na loxo sa kaw may leen amul benn problème waaye later on bi ñu waxee ne dañ am pour binda ñu ne leen ñun duñ binda parce que jokkoo nañ ak suñ looyee ñi ñuy taxawal ci court bi ñu ne amu leen dara loo leen wax ñu yéen a ngi amee kayit yi boo leen joxee kayit yi ñu liir ñu xool ko ñoom war nañoo mun a jàng xam ne kayit yi ngeen amee luwaa moo leen may doole bi su dee kayit googu noonu munuñ cee gis dara den amu leen dara loo leen mun a wax loo xam ne lu utee loolu noonu soo doo leen wax dara soo ñu ne fa lañ ko jàppa depuis démba waxuñ binduñ waaye ñoom tamit ñu ne ñun suñ waxut suñ binda suñ saynutee li ñu gaay caaj duñ ñu bàyyi ñu ne leen kon doog mu ngoog ñu ngee toog fi nii ba saa yoon pare pour bàyyi ñu because it mun nañ ñoo téye ci liñ wax ci luwaa ñu ñetti fan luwaa may na leen ñu téye ñu te buñ ñu bàyyi ñu ne amuñ ci benn problème waaye ñetti fan yooyu noonu bu jotee luwaa it wax na ne am na loo leen war a def so ñu ne ñu ngi sentu suñu bàyyut léegi ba ñetti fan dinañ ñu bàyyi te dinañ dem koot te ñun gëm nañ am nañ yaakaar bu rëy ci koot bi ne buñ demee koot bi dinañ atte te dinañ atte ni ko luwaa waxee
te pour yokk si lu ndaw si lu mu xala fàtte tuuti comme fii lañ fanaan depuis démb
waaw
démb ba léegi fii lañ fanaan te buñ fi nekk tamit ne yëpp joxuñu lekk joxuñu naan suñu lekk ak suñu naan ñu ñoo ko amal suñu bopp understand nga nekk nañ fi te si biir loolu tamit am nañu waxtaan yu bëree bëri am na jaar na suñu diggante ak seen njiit bi muy ASP Dramé ko xamante ne mooy njiiti Sénégambian police bi understand nga leeral nañu ne ko moom dafa nekk di xaar ay kaddu yuy jógee ci kaw comme nu ko gars yi di waxee si angale executive order wala comme ay order yu jógee from the top understand nga maanaam moom day toog rek ba saa yu ko wooyee ne ko ñii dee bàyyi leen ñu bàyyi ko comme affaire bi nekkatul loi affaire de comme nit buy joxee kaddu la ne defel nii kale ne defel na le ñu defee noonu comme nag du ko nee waxee nag ñun fa lañ toll suñu wax du bari loi bi ñetti fan la wax ñu ngi fii di toog di xaar loi bi si ñetti fan yooyu su dee même elapse understand nga suñu fa jógee comme nu ko nee na expliqué fii am nañ beneen jéego bu ñu war a def loi bi waxaat mooy ne dañoo dem fu mbaxana nekkee bee na ñu réglé ko fa suñ ko fa réglé pare ñun xam nañ lan la ñuy def ak suñu ay looya ñu ñuy xaar loolu la ñuy xaar maanaam toogaay bi fu mu nekk nii fa lañ toll fu mu nekk
waa ba tey rek coming back to you Neneh si wàllum nataal buñ gis si Facebook bi nit ñaa ngi koo gis ate doon na loo xamante ne daw na yaram yow suñ la ditee woon waroon nga am fooy toog nga ti da nga nelaw waaye ba tey rek yaa ngi toogoon si biti yaa ngi nelaw foofu noonu yow lan nga mun a wax déglukat yi ak ñuy seetaan si jamono bii nii si lii boobu
di ko ñaawlu rek pour wax ne fii damay sàcc suma benn broda bu baax ndeysaan dimba fii la nekk ak ñun ba ci suba si ñang jaay ni mu ko waxee Gambia dara ceeñu fi is Gambia minus Yaya Jammeh parce que la doon dox time Yaya Jammeh mooy dox ba tey so ñun dafa mel ni xeex kiñ xeex 2016 pour dugal fi nguur gu ees pour daxa li fi daan xew di nangu elef fi jàmbur yooyu mu ngi xew ba tey parce que pour ne ñu moom suñ alal nga ñëw fekk ñu suma biir kër understand nga daanu suma ko enu ma yóbbu ma ba pare fanaan lo ma si biti understand nga yooyu di ma màtta naka lañ ko de ngelaw gi lu nekk foofu noonu joxloo ma ndox joxloo ma toog joxloo ma dara daal understand bàyyi ma noonu rek nga dugg sa moto ñibbi xam nga loolu rek mooy continuer fu mu nekk nii loolu dafa mel ni doole la ñuy jaay ci kaw nit ñi so te ku nekk war na koo ñaawlu ku nekk war naa ragal ne bu dee mun nañ ko def Neneh Frida dinañ ko def keneen ak keneen ak keneen te buñ ko defee Neneh Frida dara génnu ci kon ku nekk war naa tëdda bañ a nelaw nelawee benn bët ubbi benn bët parce que kenn óoratut fu mu nekk nii jërëjëf jërëjëf di leen jaajëfal
waaw jaajëfal yëpp seen teewaay jërëjëf merci beaucoup
hani bi dorong ambading la moy lala tolle aje nyula bi nimu mbediam ko wolom anene Fred Gomez te ambe ya jenu internet to kunun ka kita moti mu yalon ko ya mutale kabri ya muta ya nati police station do bar hani bi dama aketa kulati mu yalon ko land problem wolo ma ni government la dunta nyola wala land problem wala bari tata nun court le fo itole court case ni muta ya win fo ya itandi ko nyante ke compensate each $100,000 wo bebe kuol kono le bar hani bi dal itol proceed pour ko do ko ke wala no to bara nata itandi ko fanan a kunun keta lungoti mu yalon ko e bagasol do samba je bar polisol ye mutale kotenge ke nati nan wo keta nunje so a bi nata na press conference ta ko mol fo mu yalon ko kuma yata bak ay naya ko aya jelo ko loi mantarta ka nyamba ka nyanta nyami wonto a Neneh felenti ngadi yamta ko mol fo mu yalon ko kuma yata bake silence si jannin tili sabol mu yalon ko nyante ke bula muna bina soto la Gambia kotenge ala baraka bake